So in total, we received 203 responses from LAs across the UK. There was a wide range of views and topics raised, which I'll take you through in a second. And we also received lots of questions as well as constructive feedback. So as you can see on the pie chart, out of the 203 responses, 51% had no direct action required, 11% were in relation to WCAs and WDA allocation of costs, and then the rest were a mixture of different types of queries, such as service type, groupings, recycling credits, household or properties, and tonnage and scope queries. If you could go to the next slide, please. So the next bunch of slides from me will show you the different themes that were identified during the feedback exercise, and I won't go through every single one, but I'll just pick out a handful. So in relation to the guidance, there was feedback requesting further details on calculation and underlying assumptions used to determine the estimated costs, such as detailed breakdowns of how payments were calculated, breakdowns of how tonnages were determined, and how the waste data flow inputs were used. So what we're going to do is publish an updated guidance by the end of June this year, which will provide you with more details on how the payments were calculated. And this will include worked examples, for example, showing how packaging tonnage figures in letters were derived. Next slide, please. So the haulage and transfer costs, there were expressed concerns that a flat rate was currently being applied to all local authorities to estimate these costs. And due to the complexity of accounting for differences in haulage costs within the model and the need to collect more data, in year one, haulage costs for all local authorities are included within the gate fees, which are uniformed across the country. So for future years, we will look at ways to improve how the model accounts for differences in costs, including haulage costs between different local authorities. Next slide, please. So then there were requests for different update on data sets used for number of households. And we will continue to ensure that we are using the best data available to calculate these payments. And whilst we're not able to change the household data used to calculate year one payments, we will explore whether another data set would enable us to accurately calculate a more efficient cost in future years. Next slide, please. So then there was feedback in relation to basing payments on costs per tonne versus costs per household. The regulations require reporting of tonnes of packaging in each packaging category, anticipated to be managed by each local authority in the assessment years. So the modelling of tonnages was necessary to meet this requirement. And the use of cost per tonne model also enables us to separate these costs local authorities incur for managing packaging waste of different materials, which enables us to translate these into producer fees for each material. And next slide, please. Finally, from me then, we received feedback regarding negative payments, because some local authorities asked why they've received a negative cost per tonne figure for some disposal methods. So negative payments can be due to netting off the amount of revenue from material sales that exceeds the cost of running the facility. So as part of our quality assurance process, which is still ongoing, we are looking at cases where there is a negative payment to ensure that these are correct, and we will complete this review before the payments are issued. And that is it from me. Thank you very much.